In this season in the church in America and also in the nation as far as political direction, what wisdom do you have to share with the folks?
You know, COVID pulled back the curtain.
It did.
I don't think it changed our world. I think we woke up to the condition the world was in. And we had a decision to make. If we were going to do polite Bible studies, or we were going to take the truth of God and allow it to reflect the culture in which we're living. And it took a little different kind of courage. You know, the same way it took courage for John the Baptist to say to the community that he was living in, you're immoral. Now, it cost him dearly.
Yeah, that's it.
He could have done polite Bible studies and followed around behind Jesus and said, that's right. But when he had the courage to say to Herod, you're immoral, he paid with his life. And I think the church is struggling with that. So we've kind of hidden behind this false flag that we don't bring politics into the church. I don't think politics are going to fix our problem. In fact, I'm certain politics won't. We have to have a change in the heart of the church, and the church is going to have to be willing to tell the truth into our culture. And to do that, we'll have to talk about what's happening in our world. God's not confused about gender. He created us male and female.
He's got it down.
God hasn't redefined marriage to go along with the Supreme Court or an edict from the White House. The nuclear family was God's idea. And we're going to have the courage to engage those things. And tragically, we've capitulated. So it's time for the church to wake up and to stand up, not in anger, not in belligerence, but with courage and boldness around the truth that we know.
I'm assuming you see the value of what TPUSA Faith is doing to educate pastors, to educate their congregations, that churches are the beacon of liberty in America?
They absolutely are, and the reason we are the beacon of liberty in America is because of the Bible. The Bible is the foundation for what we have here in America. And so who are the people that know the Bible the best? It's the ones who believe in the Bible, who believe the Bible is God's inerrant word. And so it's going to be pastors who are rock solid in a biblical worldview, who are going to lead their congregation towards something that's going to be completely different than what our world is trying to impose on us right now.
You got to step out, have courage. One of the things that we've really just focused on in our church, kind of when we talk about political issues, you know, they're really moral issues. Yeah. They just have political consequences. Yeah. And the Bible's full of times where men and women of God spoke truth to power. So we do that.
Hearing about this initiative to get involved with faith and talk about how to equip churches to stand and be courageous and lead the charge and just telling the truth. And that really resonates with who we are and the history of where I come from. And so it was really natural to just go, yeah, let's go check it out. Let's see what's happening. And so we're thrilled to get to learn more about the faith kind of sector and how we can be there to support other churches, standing arm in arm, and let's lead this country back towards the roots.
Revival is not going to come on the heels of a silent pulpit. All a silent pulpit does, in fact, it's a watering hole for the enemy, right? Because you see God's people gathered, and it's like, in 1 Samuel, Saul was really good at gathering the troops, headed to the ridgeline, beating their chest, putting the armor on, and then the first glimpse of Goliath, they stand there terrified.
Yeah,
and that's right, and we've gotten really good as a church of being battle ready, but never actually stepping foot on the battlefield. And so to answer your question, we just said, I fear God more than I fear man.
One of the things that God has really put on my heart is to see the church mobilized. For a long time, it was in the business, it was in the arts, and I didn't quite understand politics. I had a sign in my yard, that was it. But then when I realized and saw how disengaged the church was from policy and how we kind of, we have that private faith, right? And we say church should stay within the four walls of the church. And for me, it was that we fall into the Greek mindset of separating the secular from the sacred, right? And looking in the Old Testament, you see that God, he wanted a say in everything. And if God has transformed my heart, it should transform my life. And if He's placed me in a community, my community should be transformed because I'm in it. But it won't happen if I just shy away and hide behind the four walls of my church.